Listen here, young one. Today I've come to speak with you about a problem your grandmama and I are very concerned about. It's about your gameplay. It's been getting stale. You need a secondary. You're clearly starting to feel the Okay. There are several benefits to picking up a secondary, and today we're going to discuss them. For those unaware, a secondary is simply just a second character that you play. You don't have to have equal investment with them as you do your main character, but you do have to have enough investment in the character to be able to play them at a basic level. If you don't have a secondary now, this video will help you explore the benefits of picking one up. Picking up a secondary also has a hidden secret benefit that a lot of people don't talk about, but we'll get into that later on. So, you've been playing your favorite fighting game for a while now, and things are starting to get a little stale. You've learned a lot about your character and a lot about the game, but you're feeling the intermediate level plateau really hard right now. You want to keep learning and playing, but things are just a little monotonous. It's not that you don't understand the importance of having a main character, but ranked is starting to feel more stale than burnt toast with breadcrumbs on it dipped in room temperature water. You have a couple options. Continue playing exclusively your main, but try to think about the game in different ways, or pick up a secondary to complement your main and broaden the way you see the game. You could also just take a break, but this is less about burnout and more about adding novelty into the learning process. Regardless of what character you play, you're learning the game through a very specific lens. If you play a grappler, then naturally you're going to learn every different way you can land a command grab. If you play a character with crazy combos, you're going to be more focused on the combo game and getting optimal damage from different openers. If you play Siegfried, you're learning that all of the different shapes go in the square hole. Wait a minute, so you really just... Oh. Wait a minute. Oh. Ah, I see. Because of this, picking up a secondary can be very beneficial to broaden the way you think about the game. Playing a different character with different win conditions than your own will help you learn about other aspects or paradigms that occur in a match. You wouldn't normally think about how to efficiently get point blank against your opponent if you play a zoner. However, learning a heavy strike throw focused character will help you understand that aspect of the game more. Now that you know more about that pattern of gameplay, you can anticipate what opponents who are looking to get their strike throw mix-up started are going to do. You also will have a greater knowledge of that close-up combat and will be better equipped to utilize it or defend against it in the future. Okay, so let's talk about matchups. I find that most people have a couple characters that they dread playing against regardless of the game. Picking up a secondary can help you avoid those matchups that you despise. Sure, you still have to play against Blanca, but you can learn the Blanca matchup with a different character that doesn't get as rolled in the ways that you dislike. You can also just pick up Blanca as your secondary. You'll learn all about the ranges he's looking for, what defensive options to prey on, and a bunch of character specific stuff about him. Then you can take that knowledge to your main and form a better game plan on how to fight against him. If you primarily play online matchmaking, then you won't ever really run into the counterpicking aspect of picking up secondaries, but in a tournament setting, having more characters means having more options for counterpicking matchups that you don't want to deal with. You see players do this all the time for a variety of reasons, and it doesn't have to be exclusive to the character matchups. Maybe they just know their opponent can't handle playing against Fang. So if you know your Fang is nice as hell, then why wouldn't you try it? Have you ever felt like you're a little lost in the sauce when learning a fighting game? Like you've gotten to the point where you've learned so much that you're feeling a bit overwhelmed and sort of have analysis paralysis. Well, picking up a secondary can help you refocus on the basics of the game. This is me right now, actually. In the last few months, I've learned a lot about Granblue through the lens of playing 2B, and it's gotten to the point recently where I've lost the basics. For this, I picked up Siegfried to remind myself not to overcomplicate things. He's a strong character with a very straightforward game plan. Learning him has helped me refine how I think about my game plan and win conditions on 2B. It also was just fun. Picking up another character is fun and injects some novelty into the game. So, about the hidden secret. Last week I was in Alaska, placing bets against the locals on legally sanctioned frog races. It was here where one of the frogs stopped dead in its tracks, stared at me and said, "I think learning fighting games is a lot of fun, but sometimes you just need to mix things up for a little bit. Sometimes you want to keep playing, but the ranked grind gets monotonous if you don't make an effort to keep it fresh. Picking a secondary can help you completely avoid burnout. It can keep you sharp on the game and will force you to learn stuff that you wouldn't have ever learned before." I will return to you, 2B, but let me get a few weeks of throwing Siegfried's Fireball first. This video is actually inspired by myself currently playing Granblue. In fact, all of my videos are sort of a reflection of my fighting game journey in one way or another. What do you think? Do you have any secondary characters, or do you think learning more than one character is a waste of time? Let me know. Are you in a character crisis right now? Maybe you clicked on this video and realized you're actually struggling to pick a main character rather than a secondary. I've got a video on screen right here that can help you with that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in our next fight.